Welcome back to the morning show on XL7 TV. It's time for This Week in Real Estate with Bob Zdora of the Z team from Century 21 LeMac Realty here at Mountain Home. If you don't know where they're located, it's right across the street from the McDonald's, under the Golden Arches.
That's right. That's right.
How's Mr. Z?
Good, good.
That's good.
Keeping busy.
You know, they used to always say, if you ever want a successful business, make sure you're planted under the Golden Arches.
We're close enough. We're close enough to it. Yes, we are. We get some of the shadow, some of the glow from the Golden Arches. That's right.
It's unbelievable how that business started and has carried on over the last 50 years, 60.
Yeah,
60 years probably.
Yeah, both of them. I mean, you know, they're in the same thing. They're both in the people business and trying to help people with their day-to-day lives. And one's good for your belly, one's good for your pocketbook for some, and it's just kind of, you know, it's what it is.
Or both on both.
Or both on both. That's right. That's
Absolutely.
right. Yeah.
The real estate business is something that people don't understand. It's like your new little clip goes. It's more than just show you house, sell you house, see you later.
Yeah.
It's a relationship that gets built. Sometimes it's a long term, sometimes it's a short term, but it's still a relationship that gets built between the agent or agents and the buyer and or both the seller.
Sure, sure.
And those things flourish and continue on. Do you remember the first house that you sold when you got involved?
I do. The first one, I can take you to the first one I listed, the first one we sold. We had the buyer for. Yeah.
Are you still friends with the people that?
No, I haven't seen them. That house is sold a couple of times.
Several.
Yeah, she's moved on to other things. It was a older woman who was just looking to move next phase of her life, and it was very satisfying. It's like, okay, that's why we're going to do this.
Baxter Regional Medical Center lays claim to being the largest employer in Baxter County.
Yeah.
Which is very true.
Yep.
Baxter Healthcare lays claim to being the second largest overall, but the largest facility, which is also true. But the real estate industry in Baxter County, I would contend, turns more dollars in annually than a lot of other businesses.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if you just talk about the buying and selling of real estate in our MLS area, that's a huge number, and we'll get to those numbers here in a little bit. Annually, that is a big number. But what people need to realize is that number after a home is sold, how many other local businesses are affected by that home sale?
Sure. And within the national economy, real estate is the largest motor within the economy. There's more dollars that are turned more often from real estate transactions, residential, commercial, everything else. And the number of times carpets, flooring, drywallers, new bathrooms, new kitchens, paint, roofs, gutter guards, landscaping, movers, closing companies, banks,
insurance.
All insurance. I mean, the number of things that are affected by the real estate market it's amazing. And it is the biggest driver of the national economy. That was why when the mortgage bubble burst, the whole economy went in the dump because of that, because there's so many things are involved in that. And you don't think about it on a day-to-day basis, but if you take a look and see how many different things are affected by real estate. The new dishware, washers, dryers. I mean, we could go for
cause and effect.
An hour here. Yeah.
The cause and effect of a home being listed and sold just goes on. The ripple effect just goes on and on.
It does indeed. And Baxter can't say that, and the other Baxter can't say that, because it's just not that type of business.
Right.
Our type of business
Paycheck on Friday, come back to work on Monday.
Right.
Paycheck on Friday, come back to work on
Monday.
Monday.
And the difference in the employees, but as far as the actual business and the economic feel for that is amazing. Just amazing.
Now, please don't take anything against those two employers, because we're grateful to have them here.
Yes, we are.
And the dollars
that's what helps to bring people in who buy the houses that gets all this going.
Exactly right. The turnover, the turn of the dollar, like I was talking to Danny Pugsley from the chamber about, how many times does a dollar turn over before it finally lands in the bank? Well, when you buy or sell a home, how many times are those numbers turned over before the home gets completely remodeled or refurbished or whatever they're doing, get the new furniture in, the new appliances like you were talking about.
And times that they pop in and out of that bank.
Right.
It goes in for this guy, and this guy takes it out because they're going to use it for something else, and then, okay, it goes back in from that vendor. They take it out for something else.
It would
So
be
they're not
amazing
going.
if you could take $100 bill and mark it some way and track it just for a week
Yeah.
to see how many different businesses that one $100 bill or a 20, even a 20,
Yeah.
would float between different businesses and different banks in a week's time.
Sure. And that's
But that's-
what you're getting.
Exactly right. And that's what keeps our economy and our way of life going, is the
Oh, yeah.
transactions done not only in real estate, but local business. You always preach local banks, local banks, local banks.
Yep.
Doing business with an internet bank or an internet service benefits this area very, very little.
Not at all. I mean, it allows you to make your purchase maybe, but that's it. It doesn't put uniforms on the baseball team. It doesn't put food over at the food pantry.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do anything. They don't care. Mountain what?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean anything.
Local business, local business, local business.
Exactly.
If you need to branch out from a local business, such in the real estate business, deal with somebody that's nationally known, such as a Century 21,
Yep.
that can give you a referral by someone that's been screened and checked, and they know they're not going to be part of this network if they're not good.
Right. Or if you are, you're not going to get a referral from us because we can see, with being the 3-time President Award winners and the different accolades we've received over time. One, we know people, and 2, people know us. And if we can kind of see like the back of the house, see what agents have done, see what their career path has been. Same way, award winners, things like that. So if we have an elderly couple that's going to sell their house here and move someplace, we're going to put them with someone a little more mature who understands that they may not text quite as quickly as you do, and they may not Twitter and do this, that, and the other thing. Doesn't make any sense to put them with a 21-year-old agent who's getting started. That's not what they need. So being able to do that and being able to kind of go through and see what's best for our clients that are leaving, that's very satisfying. And we get the same thing. We're doing a referral that I'm going to take the money in this morning. We're going to pay someone a referral who sent some people to us from out of state, and that's what she sent them on. She sent them on our reputation and our, go to the website, take a look. Oh, okay, yeah, these are the people you want.
And it's not, here you go, see it at the closing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's right.
Hey, let's look at some numbers real quick.
This week in real estate, come back to me. There you go. Even got the right date on here. There were 51 new listings come on the market, 4 commercial properties, 10 parcels of land, 37 homes came on the market, ranging in price from $89,000 to $1 million. The 3 of those are taking backups. There were 38 sales, 1 commercial property, 8 parcels of land, 29 homes sold. They range in price from $49,000 to $485,000. The average sale price this week was $215,000 with 89 days on market, but still $6.2 million in residential real estate closed this past week. 13 properties expired. 36 had price changes. I mean, we're seeing that number working their way up because that's the only way you can get people through the door sometimes is drop the price, adjust, because they're not qualified for as much as they were 6 months ago. I mean, 2-point difference in interest rates has made a difference in how much in people's spendable income. It's really starting.
And something has to give. We know the interest rates aren't giving. We know the viability, if that's a word, isn't giving. So the obvious one that has to give is the price of the home.
Right, exactly, Bob. And that's what we're seeing. People that are trying to get ahead of it. I don't want to be here because if it gets, you got to worry about the brain surgeons that are running Washington, and you don't know what's going to happen. So if you want to move to the next phase of your life, then that's really where you need to be. You need to be thinking, what's going to be best for us? I said during the last recession, you can make more money, but you can't make more time. If you're trying to get to be with the grandkids, if you're trying to move to that next phase, and you don't, that's time that you're losing there. And you can make more money in that. You can change your lifestyle a little bit. It's more difficult with inflation, obviously, but it can be done. And you can live the life that you're trying to live. Or you can sit in the house here, be, if not miserable, because there are much worse places to be,
Oh, yeah.
but not have that satisfaction of doing what it is you want to do. And that's your decision, but it's an important decision and something that you need to keep in mind. So it's 78 pending, and we had been at 105 just a couple weeks ago. So some of those houses they're finally coming off. Currently, there are 224 homes on MLS, so we're up 8 from last week. Year-to-date comparison sales for this year, there's been 669 homes have sold for $147 million. Average sale price at $220,000 with 85 days on market. Last year, there had been 699 homes that sold. Kind of all run together there. 699 homes that sold for $135 million. The average sale price last year was $193 with 95 days on market. That average price is going up every week, and the time on market is coming down every week for last year. So as we see that, the market was picking up. It's up this year, and it's going to continue to be up as long as the other markets are doing well, are still selling homes, then
We're still going to
then we're still good. We had a deal that we're trying to figure out what's going to be the best course of action here. People had come and they bought it with a contingency and talked to the agent. I mean, we always follow up. It's not just we take your word for it. That your agent says, "I'll have this home sold in a week." We're under contract in a week. Well, it's been a month, and because of the price of it and the interest rates, it's going to affect some people. It's not going to affect everybody, but it's going to affect some.
30 more homes sold last year to date
Yeah.
compared to this year,
Yes, sir.
but there was a $12 million price difference between.
Yeah. And that's that's an average thing over the course of the years. I mean, it wasn't the 12 million in that
Right,
week.
right,
but
right, right.
Yeah. Well, just because people don't.
Sure, but it's just a big number.
Oh, it is. It is, and there's a big difference because there's a lot of big homes that have sold. And when you look at the average, the bigger thing is we look at the average price of 220 last year, 193 last year, 220 this year. Homes are selling, and that's why people are looking at they're getting their property tax statements, and they're going, what? But they're
It is
up.
what it is.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
it just
the
is what
value. Is the value up? I don't know, but the numbers that people are willing to pay is, and they're
Right.
coming from other markets, and they
And
don't
that's what
particularly care.
what determines the value is what is somebody willing to pay
Exactly,
for it.
exactly.
Right? Just the way it goes.
And then that's what you run into at the equalization board. People go in and say, "Well, how did this come?" Well, because that's what you paid for it. That's how we determine the value of that house.
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
How do they reach you?
Reach my honey. She's at 870-405-0793. The website's retiredtoarkansas.net. We have a great search engine on there. We have all the MLS properties are on our website. Vision Amp did a great job with that, and we appreciate them. But retiredtoarkansas.net. Call my honey, 870-405-0793.
Give that number out so much every morning, your wife's going to start getting strange phone calls because even this morning I caught myself giving up
for something
her
else.
number instead of mine.
Yeah, that could happen. That could happen.
Did it at Orson's again just the other day, and my wife even looked at me and go, whose number
Who
is
is
that?
that? Why do you know that number
Something
so
you
well?
want to tell me?
Yeah.
Bob and Linda Zdora, the Z Team, Century 21 LeMac Realtors here in Mountain Home, Arkansas, across the street from McDonald's. If you need anything in the real estate world, give them a call. Realtors you could recommend to a friend. I always say they're busy, but never too busy
No.
to meet a new customer
True.
and help you meet your needs in the real estate world. They bring us a shot of the White River every morning, which is just beautiful. You'll never buy that shot, by the way, but they'll help you find one the best they can.
Yes, indeed.
Mr.
Yes,
Zdora,
indeed.
thank you for joining us
Thank
each
you,
and
Bob.
every week. We appreciate our time together.
See you next week.
Thank you much. We'll be back.